Okay, here we're talking about extensible style sheets. This is the equivalent of a cascading style sheet for XML. That's it, cascading style sheet for XML. What that does is it's going to mark up our XML stuff so it looks pretty. A extensible style sheet consists of one or more sets of rules that are called templates. A template contains rules to apply when a specified node is matched. The template element is used to build templates. Let's take a look at what we got over here. We're telling it the XML version and that we're using the extensible style sheet version 1 and XML and XSL, what certifying authority says that we're doing it correctly. Here's the template. The match attribute is used to associate a template with an element. The match attribute can also be used to define the template for the entire XML document. The value of the match attribute is an XPath expression. So let's take a look at what we got. So we have match, then we do HTML, body, head 2, tables with a border of 1, table row that sets it to a particular color. We have our head of title, head of artist, end row, start new row, table data. So this is going to have 2 columns and 2 rows. End table, end body, end HTML, end template. Oops, sorry. So that goes in and creates a template of what we expect our flow to be. Since an extensible style sheet is an XML document, it always begins with the XML declaration of whatever version we happen to be using, encoding UTF-8. So our XML style sheet starts with XML version 1, encoding UTF-8. Then we have our style sheet version, defines that this document is a style sheet document, along with the version number and namespace attributes. The template element defines the template. The match attribute associates the template with the root of the XML document. So what we're doing is we're matching up what these look like to how we said these things are going to be. So we've described 2 columns, 2 rows, one with the heading of CD collections. We haven't defined the row in here, or excuse me, the data that goes inside there. The template element defines the template. The match associates the template with the root of the XML document. The content inside the XSL template element defines some HTML to write to output. So inside the template, we've got to have the HTML that's going to cause something to be printed to the screen. The last 2 lines define the end of the template and then the end of the style sheet. Remember, what is a style sheet? All it's doing is going in and describing the layout and look for our data. So what we have here is adding our for each statement. So what's going on, you're actually going to end up doing this. How many pages do you have? 20. You're going to end up doing this. So, and this came right after XL, XSL style sheet. Then we go into the template. And then our style sheet is to select every element of the specified node. Then what we have going on here, like we missed it slides. All right, XML versus extensible style language. What's going on is this is the XML. Remember what the criteria for XML was? It was the idea that we created our own tags. Maybe it's to deal with the database, or to go into some of the back-end systems that we're using. So this would be like pulling from a database. So we have a product name called Hammer, a product ID that's known as product number with this value, a field called price that has this value, and field and tool. So what's going on? Okay, that's the XML. That's where we define our own tags. And then the style sheet goes in there and creates for each tool. This is where it starts to be different. Create a row that has a column of the ID. So it's going to go in there and get product name. Then it's going to create another column that's going to get the, let's see, we got the next field, which is going to be product number. Then we're going to get the next field and put it in product name. And then price. So what we're doing in this area here is we are telling it to go out to the XML document or XML site, pull in one piece of information and print it out, and input end table data, end table row, end for each. So we had to have the for each up here that identified for every field of tool. Go in and print this. End table, break, gives us a little line in between. Submit or reset. End our form. And why do we need a form? We've gone over the form before. In order to get the submit and the reset stuff to work and have it neatly go in and out, we have to do it in a form. Then body, then HTML, then templates, and style sheet. So when we do this, creating a static web page from content. So what I'm showing you here is what we were looking at just a minute ago. I should show the output, and I do. So that's what it's going to look like. Then we're going to apply our template to this. So it gets tool, the field, product name, product number, and the value. Excuse me, price. I think that one's going to be price. And for each, if we have another one, we come back up We print the things out, get the next one. When we no longer have any more, then we will end our table. We will end the body. We will end the HTML and the style sheet and the template. And what is this going to give us? It's going to come out looking like this. Creating the XML file that produces this report. All right, so I want us to actually do this together. I'm going to have to update this. I didn't realize I was using web expressions in this. And you guys, what is the median? What are you all using? Have you been using an editor? Or have you just been using Notepad?
I normally use VS Code, Visual Studio.
All right. All right. So somebody said Notepad. What I do in Notepad should work everywhere. So you'll click on File, New, Page, General, XML to create a file. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go into Notepad. And I'm going to create a new file. Running out of room. Add 4 of your own favorites. You'll need to use the save and change the type to XML. So let's see on this. So what that's going to do, how would we set up the SSL to accomplish? Okay, what I'm asking, I got it. This is telling us what we're going to be doing and telling you some particulars about web expressions that we're going to ignore. And how do we set up the page to look like this? Well, we start by typing this in. Can you all see that on my? Okay, great. As I want you to go ahead and type this in. Is it big enough? And y'all know you can zoom. I'm going to be talking about this as we do it. So we're in Notepad and we're creating a file. So it's File, New, and did I give you a name to use? And style sheet and template. Excuse me, I'm going to peek ahead. And I'll come back and add it to that. There it is. So what this is doing is this is creating this is going in and putting the title, artist, and price. So what we've got here is we're setting up a style sheet by using this template, following this structure. We have the start of our HTML, our body, a heading that says My CD Collection. Then we have table with a border of 1. You can play with the border, you can play with the colors. A row that identifies a color to use in the background. A header called title. another header called artist, another header called, you know what? That was interesting. Oh, there it is. I thought I did. And then we end our row. We started our row here. So that's one row for each CD in the catalog where price is greater than 10. Select the title, select the artist, select the price. Now, where do you think that's going to go? We got title, artist, and price. I'm going to roll up a second, so take a look at where you are. I'm going to come back. Actually, I think it should be here. And I'm going to come here. And this is to, I think I gave you the XML file. I did. So go ahead and pull down the XML file. I'm going to right click, save as XML music under where I keep my code. Alright, so we got the file. So if we look at the file, which you all can see right here, we see title, we see artist, genre, who's the publisher, whatever they are, at what price, of what year, end a CD, start another CD. Do y'all see how this is looking and where we're going to be getting the tags from? I'm going to bounce back into the PowerPoint. And I wanted to go right here. So this is going to get us the title, the artist, the price. And this is going to do for each title, artist, and price where price is greater than 10. And this is, what is this? I'm going to peek out a second and try to lay that to the side so you can see. This is project. I always want to say that because I should have the answers. That's not right. Now let me know when you've got that typed in. I had to peek back at something else because it means we may have to go back and complete that other piece. We have the template, we have the style sheet for each, okay? And you pull down the XML file. trying to see. XML, that's the power. When you think you're organized. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that part of the screen over into the right hand so that you still, because you're still typing, right? And put this over here. So that you can still type and you can still talk. Is that okay with everybody? Is everybody okay? Okay. Just what was it? What was this? There we go. All right, so you're typing this in. An extensible style sheet. Remember, it's a cascading style sheet-ish of XML. Is used to define the transformation rules to be applied to the target XML document. The style sheet is written in XML format, so you're going to be sure that it has the XML encoding stuff. The style sheet processor takes the style sheet and applies the transformation rules to the target XML document. And then it generates a formatted document in XML, HTML, or text format. So it goes in there, and what it's going to do is going to make our file look pretty. So we have the XSL document that goes to the processor, that gets us the results, that gets formatted for display. Why do we want to use extensible style sheets? Independent of, why do we want to use cascading style sheets? I could have the markup of the page different from the content of the page. So if for some reason I was red and now I've turned blue, then it would be easy just to go into the one style sheet that says use red. We take that red out and tell it to use blue. Output can be altered by simply modifying the transformations in the style sheet. I can move these around. I could lay them out in a different order. I could print them. I could not print them. You don't have to do a whole lot. Web designers can edit the style sheet, and you can see the change in the output quickly. All right, so let's go in, and we're talking about this part right here. XSL for each. That's like a for next loop. For each CD in the catalog. If price, and y'all saw what the XML document looked like. Downloaded it. I'm going to tell it to and what we're looking at here, I'm going to slide that off to the side. Minimize that. I know there's a lot going on in the screen. But, so what we have here, the particular part that we're talking about, is for each CD in the catalog. Here's 1. Here's 2. 3, 4, 5. Hope we're getting down to, you get the idea, correct? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's probably about 25 or better. Okay? So that's what we're going through, is this music XML file. And then we asked if price, and test is what our test is. If price is greater than 10. So that means we're coming down here. This one would print. This one would not. This one would not. This one would print because its price is over 10. This one wouldn't. 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's say 6. It looks like only 6 of them from what I can see so far. Yeah, 6 of them. It would return back those 6 where they existed as a CD and their price was greater than 10. Now, why do you think we have to use the ampersand GT? Why can't we just use the greater than sign? The greater than sign won't come through HTML in the proper way. So we have to give it the code that's going to represent the greater than sign. All right, so that's this. I'm going to scoot this down. And this is what I was showing you here. We're going to display, in my case, it was title. In what I show you over here, it's title and artist. I would like you to add price. How would I go about adding price? How are we going to add the price? Add price to printout. So how are we going to do that? What is it that we need to change? What do we need to do that would allow price to be included with this? And where is it going to go? Well, actually, my code over here shows you. That's what's different between these two, is title, artist, price, end row. So each new title artist would come through on a different row. The extensible style sheet format number function. We're using it. We haven't. We should. All right. This function is used to convert trying to get that a little bit better. All right. So in this one, we tell it to match, convert a number into a string. String format number as number format decimal format. Format number, and this is the number, comma. So that separates the number from the format or decimal format. So when we do, that appears to be what, 500,000, 100. Then the next one would be zero. I can't. What is? Yeah, 0 decimal places. This would be 2 decimal places. This is 1 with the signet. What the 0 is saying is that is a significant 0. What's a significant 0 versus a non-significant 0? A non-significant 0. If I wrote you a check for $1, I could put all the zeros I want in front of the 1, and it's not going to change the value of that dollar, correct? That's what we're talking about here. So we go in and we're telling it what format to use. This one, we're formatting as a percent. So it should come out as 23 point. It might just be 23 because I'm seeing the decimal places. All right, an XML document with correct syntax is called well-formed. An XML document validated against a data description is both well-formed and valid. A document type definition. A document type definition defines the structure and what I'm going to find in it, and the legal elements and attributes of that document. The purpose, what we're doing is going in and describing what the data looks like. We're describing the structure and basically the fields and attributes of that document. So we have notes, document type definition, and we have the interpretation. So document type goes in there and tells it that it's a note. The element note, so I go up here, and that's going to contain to, from, and heading. So we have the to, that's coming from PC data. That's what we type in. There's other types of data, but when we're getting input, it's PC data. Defines the to element as PC data. The from is the PC data from person. The heading is the PC data, again, what was typed in. And then the body contains PC data. The purpose of a document type definition is to define the structure and the legal elements. So this basically says what are the field names, and where are they coming from. When to use a document type definition. When you have independent groups of people that can agree to use a standard name. You better get used to that from the get-go. Because as you'll see, these systems become quite complex. And having an early agreement on what everybody, the direction, the goals, then it just helps everybody to get there. You can also use a document type definition to verify your own data. When XML does not require a document type description, when you're experimenting with XML, or when you are working with small XML files, creating DTDs may be a waste of time. If you develop applications, wait until the specification is stable before you add a DTD. Otherwise, your software might stop working because of validation errors. What are they saying there? What's the takeaway? If we haven't standardized what the file is going to consist of, that's going to cause errors to happen. So get on the same bandwagon from the get-go and lead the build. So here we have the XML document note. And an element has the to, the from, the name, or to, from, heading, and body. Heading is going to be like the description, what you're writing about. And what we're telling it is these are fields that we're going to be getting, and they're of string type. So what are these fields? If we go back to the XML document, nope, I'm not doing that. If we go back to the XML document, what we would pull up is those items: to, from, heading, and body. All right. Why use an XML schema? With XML schema, your files can carry a description of its own formats along with the information. With XML schema, your XML files are with the schema independent groups of people can agree on a standard of interchanging data. If you're doing between organizations, between departments, between all of this, how are you setting yourself up? If you give me the schema, then I know how to focus my efforts. XML schemas support data types. It is easier to describe the document contents, to define the restrictions on the data, to validate the correctness of data. It is easier to convert data between different data types. Remember, anything we type in, if we typed it in, it is not a number. It has to go through a process to become a number. And then I gave you resources. So let's look at what we have here. All right. Okay. I wanted to make sure I gave you enough. Using the provided XML CD collection file, you are to create a style sheet template that will display a table of artists in sorted order for a price greater than 10. What have I changed here? I've included the idea of sort order. The output should display, well, that's not in sorted order, the following. Oh yeah, the artist should display in sorted order. Keep all files in one project folder. Name it 2C, followed by your initials, and zip them all up. In this case, I must get them as zipped. If I don't, the pointers don't come out right. So we download the XML file, music file, add these 2 lines of codes to, what did I open it in? Notepad. Yes, music. So what I've done up here, if I don't have, darn it, so before number 1, I've got to add in the XML version and encoding and the style sheet. Once I've done that, then I'll go in and create the style sheet. Now, we've seen this in, I think that's what you all have been typing, correct? Was this style sheet. Right. Right. All right, so that's what we have going on the right. So I'm telling you to go in there and save it as what file? Music.xslt. So we have our XML version because it's still an XML document. Then we have our style sheet version. Then we have our encoding that we may be using. Then we start our template. We start the HTML, the body, my CD collection, border 1 to give us a little bit of color, the color, the idea of artist, title, artist, and price. Those are going to be left justified as we expect text values to be. And its names are, where did my mouse go? The first one is title. Oh, we're not there yet. For each CD in the catalog. And if we looked at this, this is catalog. For each CD in the catalog. For each. So in this case, all right, select catalog CD, sort by artist if test is greater than 10. So what that does is going to go get the artist and print that out for each select. It's not create. I'm going to look for something because this looks just a little bit off. For each, give me the title, give me the artist, give me the year, give me the price, end row. See, end row should come back up here. Get the next one. So have y'all been able to run it? Okay, you got yours, then I'm going to stop. Oh, I won't say stop. But you got it to where you got the formatting and everything looking good. Oh, okay, wait a minute. Well, probably. Let me get to this. And I'm looking for style sheets. I know I will. It might be on my other computer. That's for me. Old stuff. Yeah. All right. Put that down. I hear from Eugene. Once you've created that style sheet, this is what you're going for. The idea that artist is sorted. We have our title as well as year and price all displayed. So it's going to be a combination of what's actually between the slide and the handout, the document file. Did everybody get something like this? Okay. Is there anything you need me to show? The style sheet? 9. Remember, you needed to add 2 lines up here. You could just pretty much copy them from this one onto that one. Remember, the XML file is given to you. All you have to do is download it. Let me know when you get there. I'm actually going to peek ahead a second. And what I'm going to peek at, even though it says 2C, it's really this one. All right. That's what I wanted to peek ahead to, was the idea that next week we're going to take a look at Ajax application. However, we can't do it, so it's all going to be in theory. Then we're going to take a look at maybe there being an exercise in it. Remember, we're trying to get something that looks like it. Let me know when you got it. Have you fixed the typing errors? Okay. Does it run? Does it look similar? Awesome. Okay. That was Eugene and Talika. Who else? How about you, Tavion? Okay. Did it run? Okay. My mouse always wants to get lost. All right. So, extensible style sheets are nothing more than cascading style sheets for XML documents. what is, or what do we use XML documents for? Passing data around the internet, from old stuff to new stuff. It allows us to create tags that we understand make sense to our business, and share that structure with another company or another user in a different location. Everybody good on this? All right. If you are, I want you to zip this up, because this is Project C. When you go in and you've added the price, and then the query, the price greater than $10.90, and have the results that I have. Do I have any questions on that one? And peek here. So next week I'm going to be talking about the Ajax. And take a look at what the project is with us. We'll meet in the classroom next week. How this is all works together. The internet is not one technology. It's a technology of technologies that allows us to do the things that we can do. Is everybody good? All right, let me ask, are there questions from any outstanding work that you may have? All right. How about your web page or pages, your home page? Remember, I wanted 4 sheets, I think, or 4 pages. How are you doing on that? Okay. It is going into November. I'm not fussing because I'm not that tight. And I don't micromanage saying, no, I need it now, or I need it yesterday. But there is a final date. Let me look. So we have, all right, we have school on the 7th, the 14th, and the 21st. I have notes written down there. I'll have to get you. Anyways, I have to have the grades in by December 12th. So we need to make sure that we meet that deadline. Okay? Is everybody okay? If we are, I'm done for today. If everybody's good. Remember on what the page looks like? You could hand draw it and take a picture of it. It could be something, like a clip art from the internet that represents that item, or there's a number of ways that you could do the design layout of your project. If everybody's good, you're good for now. All right. Sounds good. Y'all stay out of trouble. Enjoy the holiday. I'm so blessed because I get to have seen my children on Halloween, but now I get to see my grandkids on Halloween. So it's so much fun. And I got both of them. Happy Halloween. Stay safe and out of trouble. Okay, Eugene. See you next week. Okay, good, Tylee. Um, yes, you can. I wanted to look at, because, so I'm going to get into your file if you don't mind. Actually, I could just go up here because it was this one. I gotta extract it. And it's all the same files. But when I view it with, and I always use Internet Explorer, I don't get anything. So now I've got the file. No. But it's not telling. It doesn't have a developer tools. Okay. There's no errors. But something's happening or not happening. Because at minimum, it should do what? It should display using, okay, it did get the title up there. Script, type, text, JavaScript. So we have something going on in here. Is this an L or a 1? Just a lot of people get that one mixed up. Didn't come back as an error though. Right. Right. It didn't come back as an error. Text. Oh, you know what? I'm going to tell you. You never call it. You're missing a line of code. You got to give it a name. What is 1A? Let me go back and see. Yeah, because that's what the problem is. You gotta define the switch. You got it, but you just haven't. So it's 1A. That's not it. This is what I want. 1A. Open project 1A. View source. I forgot what version. It doesn't look like it's the same 1A, does it? So I can't. That is, this is yours. These are, this one's, what? Okay. So let's see. What I'm trying to see is the directions to see exactly what it was asking for. So give me just a second. 1A should have been maybe a number and your name. Yeah. For this project, you will want to download and use HTML editor. Display a prompt to the user to prompt for their name and 2 numbers. Their name and 2 numbers. So this one, rather than it being project A, this 1A, I don't want it to be that complicated. I'm not ready for that. So I'm not ready. I got a different one. And eight modified. I'm looking for 1A. I'm sorry. I'm trying to have this ahead of time. But do you see where you gotta make so let's go. What's in this one? Come on. You've defined the code, but you've never used the code. It's not gonna have the if, but you're gonna have where you declare num1, num2, name. You're gonna have bars in front of it. Then we're going to ask for a number, ask for another number, turn it into an integer value, and then display a custom message. So when all right, so I've reset that so you could go ahead and submit it. Again, let me just double check that I have. Okay. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead. Do you want me to delete it? Do you have a backup of it? I have a backup. Okay. So I'm going to clear the attempt, which will give you an opportunity to go in and resubmit it. I'm going to stop the recording. Didn't realize it was still going.